got a loved one who's addicted to drugs? I'm sure you've heard this before. I just need it to feel normal. Well, today we're going to take a look at addiction, dopamine, and why it is that people say, I just need it to feel normal. First off, what is dopamine? Dopamine is a hormone and type of neurotransmitter or chemical messenger made in your brain. Your nervous system uses it to send messages between nerve cells. These messages also travel between your brain and the rest of your body. This unique neurotransmitter affects your body, brain, and behavior. Dopamine plays a role how we feel pleasure and rewards, and it's a big part of our human ability to think and plan. It helps us focus and work towards goals and find things interesting. Essentially, dopamine is the body's way of motivating you to do anything and everything. It's why we get out of bed in the morning. In fact, everything we do it because our brain fires us that little taste of the sweet, sweet dopamine, and we love it. So much so that when we get a taste of it, we repeat behaviors to get more. That warm feeling you get after you kiss your partner? Dopamine. And when things get really hot and heavy, for most of us, our dopamine levels peak during times of intimacy. However, you can artificially spike your dopamine levels as well with, you guessed it, drugs. Legal or illegal substances such as cocaine or methamphetamine. For those of you who like visuals, here's a graph that explains what I'm talking about. Your typical hard drugs disrupt your body's natural flow of dopamine, leading to some seriously negative effects. The biggest one is that with artificial levels of dopamine so high, your body stops producing it naturally. Also, your receptors get overloaded and shut down. This is why hard drugs are so addicting, and drug addicts claim that they need their drug of choice to feel normal. Because their body has stopped producing dopamine naturally, artificial sources are the only way they can get them and feel motivated. Not using their drug often leads to anxiety and a lack of motivation, otherwise known as depression. This is why, if you've ever seen a loved one going through withdrawal, or even well into the recovery, they just can't seem to get out of bed. It's not that they don't want to. Believe me, I've been there. It's not a proud time for the recovering addict to just lay around 24 hours a day feeling useless. It is shameful, embarrassing, disheartening, and can even lead to thoughts of suicide. The good news is that your body is a wonderful mechanism that will repair itself in due time. The bad news is that time is different for everyone, and you never know how long it will take. It is very normal for people to relapse during this time for several reasons, such as often responsibilities like work or children do not allow them to remain in bed all day. Friends, family, or loved ones will threaten that if they aren't out of bed soon, they will face serious consequences. Some people just can't take all the negative thoughts or thoughts of suicide. And some just feel like it will never end and give up. That is why I consider this part of recovery the hardest and most misunderstood. I cannot tell you how many times I've gone 30 to 45 days clean, only to relapse because I had to pay bills, or my family or partner was tired of watching me lay in bed all day and gave me an ultimatum. The thing is, us addicts always knew how to fix our problem. It didn't even take a lot of drugs, just a little bit to wake us up in the morning. So when your loved one is making a serious effort to quit and you find them to be unmotivated or unable to get out of bed, what can you do? Here are some different options because it's not going to be the same for everyone. For those of you who are unable to stand by and watch, it's probably best that you have your loved one head to an inpatient facility or a rehab. Exercise can speed up the dopamine regeneration, but you must remember that attempting to motivate them can often have an adverse effect. Allow them the time to heal and be patient and supportive. This is the best thing you can do, even though it sounds counterintuitive. But fear not. Out of the blue one day, they'll snap right out of it, their body will start producing dopamine, and everything will return to normal. Congratulations, you have just navigated your way through post-acute withdrawal. And when it happens, it is sweet. Everyone will notice, so hang in there. So to recap, it is not laziness that is causing the person to feel this way. It is depression, a lack of dopamine, and it doesn't last forever. They just needed a little more time. Thanks for tuning in to my first episode, Dopamine and Addiction. I'm your host, John Walker. Please like and subscribe for more content. Stay tuned for our next video.